Hey, so yeah, listen, let's get something straight. This is the first and last time you guys are going to see me in a pair of shorts on this show. Hopefully, maybe not. I doubt it. I just wanted to be a little comfortable today. It's just, today we went to the park with some buddies of mine. Tossed the baseball around. Just, guys being dudes, whatever. And this is basically what I was wearing, just a different shirt because it was too athletic, the shirt that I was actually wearing, so I had to put on something just to even it out. But yeah, so this week's episode is going to be a little bit more cohesive, I guess you can say. Last week was basically a mess. I didn't have the time to think of anything to figure out episodes. This week was a little bit more easier, or a little more easy, because Sam Darnold was traded. Spoiler alert of basically what this episode is going to be talking about. I'm also going to be talking about the Philadelphia Eagles, Miami Dolphins, and San Francisco 49ers trade that they did, swapping picks. That's basically what it is, this episode. Gonna talk football for the first time in a while, actually, because next week it's gonna be the trade deadline for the NHL. I'm gonna be talking about that. Don't expect a lot of moves to be happening, in all honesty, because of how the flat cap it's gonna be. Plus, you got to deal with quarantine. It's gonna be a weird trade deadline, so I decided let's do this week. Next week it's gonna be the trade deadline. Then the week after that, or the same week, I'll do an NFL draft episode on a day that I'm free. So, let's get into this. Let's get it, because I want to get this done. So, yeah. So, Sam Darnold was traded. A lot of picks were traded. Let's talk about the picks first in chronological order. The Sam Darnold trade, I'm going to talk about more about Sam Darnold than what the Jets are doing, whatever. So, the trade that happened, we saw the Miami Dolphins trade their third overall pick to the San Francisco 49ers for the 49ers' 12th overall pick and a couple other picks. And then after that, the Dolphins decided to trade with the Eagles and traded the original San Francisco 49ers 12th overall pick to the Eagles for the Eagles' 6th overall pick, plus the Dolphins gave them a couple other picks. At the end of the day, the Dolphins came out with 5 first-round picks, from Laramie Tunsil. So Laramie Tunsil was drafted 13th overall originally. They got 5 first-round picks for him. That's an incredible amount of draft stock. That's some good stuff that the Dolphins did. I like what the Dolphins are doing, in all honesty. I think next year it's still going to be the Bills division, but the Dolphins are making some very smart moves. They just went and signed Will Fuller to a 1-year deal. They got Tua Tagovailoa some more weapons. I think this is going to be a team that can qualify for a wild card spot next year. But it's a little weird. So I'll start with the third overall pick. Then I'll go to the 49ers. I'll start with the 49ers, the third overall, and then I'll move my way down. The 49ers taking that, or trading for that third overall pick, basically tells you that they're going for a QB, and Jimmy G isn't the QB of the future. I don't really think that there's anybody worth taking third overall, other than, maybe Kyle Pitts, but they don't need a top tight end. They have the best tight end in the NFL right now. So this is basically telling me that they're going for a QB with that third overall pick, and I don't think that he's going to be the QB right away. I think this is going to be Jimmy's chance to gain a spot in the NFL, like a starting role, just with a different team this next season coming up. I think he's going to play. They're going to have whoever they draft. I don't think it'll be Zach Wilson. I'm thinking that it's going to be Justin Fields that they take third overall. But he's going to be, whoever it is going to be sitting on the bench behind Jimmy G. Jimmy G is going to be playing out this season, basically going to be a mentor, but I also get the feeling that Jimmy G doesn't want to be a mentor. He's still pretty young. I think he's about 29, 30. He feels like he can still start in this league, so I don't see him essentially being a mentor to a QB that is going to eventually take his spot on the team in about a year. Do I see him taking? I feel like I'm surprised he hasn't requested a trade yet. I think he wants to contend for that spot and show them that they made a mistake by drafting a QB. But I still think they're gonna have this QB sit behind Jimmy G, watch him, have Jimmy G mentor him, learn from Jimmy, and the year after that, he's gonna be playing. Like starting the season. So that's my thing with the 49ers. Then the Dolphins then get the 6th overall pick from the Eagles. It's the Eagles. And this is a bit of a weird selection, a weird spot for them. I feel like they might have wanted the Bengals 5th overall pick because I feel like the Dolphins wanted Sewell. But I don't think he'll be available there. At least if I was the GM of the Bengals, or if I can control the GM of the Bengals, I wouldn't think he's there. Like if he's a smart GM, he knows what he has to do. Draft Sewell, get Burrow that help, that offensive line help. But who knows? Joe Burrow has spoken out saying that he wants Jamar Chase on his team. He wants to reunite with Jamar Chase from their LSU days. I don't think that's the smartest idea. I feel like his best bet is Sewell. He needs that offensive line help. He needs somebody to protect him, like pass protect him, whatever protect him. He needs that pass protection so that he can actually, not die. He can keep his other ACL. He's already got some offensive weapons. He's got Tyler Boyd. He's got what's his name now? T. Higgins still from Clemson, and he's still got why do I feel like I'm missing another wide receiver? It's not AJ Green. He left. Tyler Eifert left a long time ago. Still got Joe Mixon, Antonio. I think they got Antonio Bernard still. But they still got some good offense. They still got some good offensive weapons with T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd. He doesn't really need Jamar Chase. It'd be fun to watch Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow again. I think what he needs is an offensive line before he gets another receiver or another running back, whatever. Can they take Kyle Pitts with the 5th overall pick? Depends who they take with the 4th overall pick. I think they need an offensive lineman. You can draft a wide receiver in the later rounds. That's going to be a good wide receiver. You can take a running back in the later rounds. That'll be a good running back. Doesn't matter. So if I'm the Bengals, you're going to take Sewell, and at that point, it's going to be a little weird what the Dolphins do with that pick. They still have a later round pick, so who knows what they would take then. Maybe I can see them taking like a wide receiver, running back, or a linebacker, safety, maybe a safety. I don't see them really needing the defensive line help, the linebacker help. Not so much for the cornerbacks either. Maybe for the safeties, I would say. But other than that, not so much on defense or offense. Their biggest thing is, I think, offensive line. They have some good running backs in Gaskin. I think they still got Matt Breida, even though he didn't play too well this past year. But still, you can still draft another running back in the later round, so it doesn't really matter for that. You can draft somebody after the first round. Same thing, wide receivers. They don't really need one. They still have Devontae Parker. They just signed Will Fuller. And at tight end, they have Gesicki. So I don't really see them needing defensive help other than at safety, and offensive help other than at O-line. Do I see? Could they maybe take a QB? That's a question up in the air, I guess, because there's a lot of speculation with Tua and his future. I think Tua's a good QB. I don't see any reason to trade him away. He barely played his first entire season. He's somebody that came off a big hip injury. I think he can do it. I think he can be a good QB. I think he'll be the starter if they don't trade him for Deshaun Watson, whatever. I think that if they no matter what, they're not going to take a QB with that pick. I think they'll use it on somebody that can actually help the team around the QB. And then the Eagles take the 12th overall pick. It's a little weird what they're doing. They're not saying Jalen Hurts is is QB1, which I think that's just to give him a motivation, not to make him feel like his job is locked in, that he still needs to work it out or work for his job. That's basically what I think it is. Who do I think they could take with that pick? Maybe Jamar Chase drops at that pick. I don't know if Devontae from what's his name from Alabama, the wide receiver from Alabama. I think not Devontae Parker, but another Devontae. But the wide receiver from Alabama who just won the Heisman. I don't know if he'll drop to that point. Maybe he does. It depends it depends on what teams, if a team makes a move for him early or not. Like that feels like they can really use him, or feels like that he's going to be gone at that point and they want to move up. I don't know if they'll take him. Maybe there could be another wide receiver available at that point, like Jamar Chase, like I said. There should be a pretty good wide receiver class. Maybe they want to go with somebody else to help their defense. The Eagles have a lot that they can do or that they can use to help boost their team. I wouldn't be really surprised with who they take with anybody who they take, unless it's somebody that's really off the board, like they did last year with Jalen Reagor. But yeah, that's that big 3-team trade that basically happened. 4-team, I guess you could say, because this all started with Laremy Tunsil. We see where this goes with how far down the trade tree, the Laremy Tunsil tree goes. But right now, we got to get to the draft first. So, Sam Darnold got traded to the Carolina Panthers. And it was for like a second and I think a fourth. The New York Jets are definitely taking a QB with that second overall pick. I think it's definitely going to be Zach Wilson, because that kid is looking really good. Now, the question is, can Zach Wilson do things that Sam Darnold couldn't? If you've seen Zach Wilson's pro day, he pulled off a throw that was an incredible throw, running on his off side, I guess you can say. He was running left, even though he throws right. He spins and makes the throw, and it was a bomb. Now, the thing is with that, Sam Darnold did that during a game. I think it was against the 49ers this year. I know what happened this year. Sam Darnold can pull off some incredible throws. He has the talent to be an incredible QB in this league. He just doesn't have the team around him. Now, do I think he was sort of screwed over in New York? I definitely think so. He didn't have a good QB to work with. They didn't really give him a chance. He didn't have any weapons. He had no offensive line help. He's going to a team that is basically going to help him out, that can give him some help. I think we're going to see Darnold's, basically his true potential on Carolina. And what's funny enough is I saw somebody point this out on like TikTok or whatever, and I can't remember who it was. He said that this Carolina team, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Spawn Hour. This Carolina team is what could have been the New York Jets. The Jets had the chance, after they fired their head coach a couple years ago, they had the chance to sign Matt Rule as their head coach. Instead, they decided to sign, what is his name? Oh my God, I can't remember his name now. Adam Gase. They had the chance to sign Matt Rule. Instead, they decided to go with Adam Gase. Don't know why they did that. Matt Rule is looking really good as the Carolina head coach over there. I feel like the Jets really made a mistake going with Adam Gase, or I think it's not that I feel they made a mistake going with Adam Gase, but we're going to see what could have been, because Matt Rule was supposed to be, or would have been the head coach if not from Adam Gase. They signed Robbie Anderson. Like, the Jets let Robbie Anderson go for nothing, and now Robbie Anderson is looking like a number one receiver with the Carolina Panthers. Now they have a QB1 in Sam Darnold. This is what could have been the New York Jets, basically. Sam Darnold has a lot more weapons. He's going to be able to throw the ball to Robbie Anderson. More, I think it was. I can't remember the wide receiver that's on that. I can't remember the wide receiver one. I think it's more. But he has some good wide receivers to throw to. He has Christian McCaffrey, who's a running back / wide receiver, basically. I can't remember who they signed at tight end, but still, tight end, you can get somebody in the draft, like I said. This is a better offensive line that he's playing with. He has a good head coach, and he has a good offense to work with. We're going to see his true potential with the New York Jets. And I'm going to be honest with you. So here's my thing. I got to be clear with you. I am a Sam Darnold defender. I think that the Jets made a mistake letting him go, just trading him away. They should have given him a chance to win. They won Zach Wilson. Okay, they can get Zach Wilson all they want. But without the offensive line, what does it matter? Like, the throws that you can make on the run. Sam Darnold made that same throw, like I said, during a game where he almost got hit. He should have gotten sacked. He got away from the hit and still threw that bomb running on his offside. He threw from his offside, like his throwing shoulder was pointed in the direction where he was supposed to throw. He was still able to make the throw. I think that Sam Darnold had too many haters. I think that he deserved a better chance on this team. I would have liked to see him on the Jets still. I thought this was a good QB pick that they made. It's just that it was a shit team around him. You're looking at the team that picked Sam Darnold before Josh Allen, but Josh Allen wasn't looking good for a little while until he looked really good this year. Last year he looked like he improved, but this year he had to have been probably the most improved player, like without a doubt. He was the most improved player from last year, from the year before. Do I see Sam Darnold improving this year? I'm going to say I do. I think he could be a good QB with Carolina. I think this is a good chance for him to really prove himself. He has the offensive line. He has the weapons. He has the running backs. He has the head coaching. Now this is his job to lose. He doesn't have the excuse of him playing for the Jets. The only excuse he has is he stinks. That's all that's left for him. I think he does it. I think he's become a good QB with Carolina. I think that he's going to be able to pull it off, make Carolina a good team. Sucks because Teddy Two Gloves is going to be they're now giving Teddy Two Gloves the option to seek a trade with another team. I don't see him, staying with Carolina at all. I think he's going to leave. I feel like he thinks he can be a starter in this league. I'm sorry, this is a very bad podcasting. But I think Teddy Two Gloves is going to go to a different team. Where does he go? I don't have no idea. Where does he come from? Where does he go? Where does he come from? Cotton Eye Joe? Not too sure. All I know is Teddy Two Gloves era is now done after basically one season in Carolina. Hopefully he goes to a team that'll actually, play him and he can be successful with. But Sam Darnold, now Carolina Panther. I have hair in my mouth from my mustache, so that's always great. I'm in shorts. I'm wearing running shoes on the podcast. I'm not feeling like I'm, who I usually am this podcast. I'm tired recording this. Like, today burnt me out. Like, being at the park, tossing the ball. Plus, I was at work literally like not even an hour before. It's just a fun day today. So, yeah. I think that's going to be it for today. It's going to be a pretty short podcast. Only 20 minutes. Hopefully next week it'll be longer. I'm going to hopefully do a nice... Actually, I feel like it'll be longer next week. I'll come out guns blazing next week because next week is the trade deadline. It's going to be fun. I'm going to talk about trades that didn't happen or teams that got screwed over at the trade deadline. But yeah, that's all for this week. You can check me out on Instagram at Bonavoda or on my Twitter at Bonavoda_. You can follow the podcast on Instagram at Leading the Pack Pod. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to watch the video version, of this. You can check me out on Spotify. Like I said, still figuring out the Apple thing. Don't know what's going on for that. I don't know if I got to do that separately still. I'm still learning. But that's all for this week. I hope y'all had a great Easter. If you celebrate Easter, go Leafs go. Go Pack go. Go Gary Trent go because he's looking really good as a Raptor. Go Jays go. I think they're losing still right now to the Rangers, but that's all for this week. Go easy, y'all. Watch the Sopranos, greatest show of all time, and I'll see y'all later. Ciao.